Hi, this is Nathan Young, sending in my second intro for a fantastic podcast. Just out on the Yorkshire Wolds Way, our training run in preparation for the Hardswold 80 in 3 weeks' time. So have a great one, everyone, and enjoy listening to Gary and Eddie on the Tea and Trails podcast.
Have you had any Christmas food or beverages yet?
No, not before my birthday.
I had a Christmas sandwich from M&S. It was incredible.
It's disgusting. I hope baby Jesus strikes you down.
And I am really twitching on the tree. There's a few trees up near where I live.
Don't do it. 21st of December, that's the time you put your tree up.
God's sake, woman.
We always go and we get like the oldest one that's been left behind, but it's in the spirit of Christmas because it goes, "You came to get me.
Yeah.
I've been waiting."
It was on like some regional news. I don't know which town it was, but anyway, they'd bought the shabbiest, scruffiest looking Christmas tree for the town centre. Didn't go down well with the locals.
The one in Morsine used to have to come in on like a double-decker HGV lorry. It was so big. We used to follow it up the mountain.
Cool.
But considering we lived in a place that was surrounded by alpine Christmas trees, I always found that a bit funny that actually it would be lovely to just use one that had come off the mountain.
As a kid, we'd the junior school. It only happened once, so I don't think it was a tradition as such. But we'd go to the forest. We were allowed to chop a tree down. It was awesome. The school went. It was like a school trip in the I think it was Castle
What, you
Dean.
chopped your own tree down?
Yeah. I've probably totally remembering this wrong, but I'm convinced I went to Castle
Let's
Dean.
Let's live with that memory.
Yeah, it's much better than the reality. But I think it's at Trafalgar Square. That's always a miserable.
That's come from
looking affair.
Norway, hasn't it? Though, isn't it?
A long
gift from
journey.
Norway? It's had a
It is, yeah.
long journey. Feels like me. Hello and welcome to the Tea and Trails podcast. Thanks so much for turning us on, tuning in, pressing play, or maybe just listen away in the car. You are all rock stars. Thanks for your intro, Nathan. Best of luck for is it the last ever Hardwolds 80 this weekend?
Possibly, yeah. That is the word on the street. Hope it's not, but yeah, maybe
weather
it is.
looks mixed. It's snowing up here, Gary. So get your gloves out. I've just had a beautiful... Is there anything better than running in cold wind but dry? I think it's the best. You've got a lightweight top on, a gilet and a pair of gloves and some 1990s Ibiza bangers in your ears. I am so happy. Please keep those intros coming. Email them to hello@teaandtrails.com. Thank you so much to all our patrons. For the price of a cuppa or a coffee or a latte,
Mulled wine.
You can buy a pair of gloves at Sports Shoes for £4, pair of running gloves. I've got to find out what they were because as I was running, I thought, I've got to tell everybody about these. They're amazing for everyday runs. If you want to save your fancy montane pairs for the big races, you can buy a pair. There's still stuff that you can buy for £3 to £4. Loads of brands offering great discounts over on Patreon. It's the best way to support the podcast and you can save every time, anywhere. You can just make that purchase in your car using our codes as you're waiting to pick up the kids from whatever terrible activity they're doing that day. Don't forget, if you want a snood or a bobble hat, you must add your address to Patreon. No address, no goodies. Also, join Patreon for a year. You save 10% in your membership. And if you join the legend tier or above, not only are you a living legend, but we'll send you a bobble hat too. You can give Patreon, so if you have a Tea and Trails fan in your life, spread the love and treat them to the ultimate podcast gift. Do you know, Voom Nutrition has never touched my lips, Gary? I've never tried it, but I've heard about it.
You're missing a treat.
I'm missing a treat. Well, they've joined our Patreon scheme. Patrons can enjoy 50% off all orders. 1375 and 2 Valley runners will know all about the Voom. I see. So that's on the 13 Valleys checkpoints, is it?
My favourite is the lemon and lime pocket rocket energy bar.
That's what you call yourself, isn't it? In the mirror in the morning. Come on, you
Little pocket rocket.
Also news from Flaming Phoenix Towers. They are bringing out some new flavours of their flapjacks. You might remember them if you partaked in our Tea and Trails Ultra. They were there with the stand and you could have perhaps you tried a little smidgen of their delicious flapjacks. These pack a punch, these flapjacks, Gary. 552 calories in the vanilla ultra high energy. 66 grams of carbs, 18 grams of protein. and they don't freeze. Calorie dense, perfect for cold weather. So this would be a great spine option.
Thanks to X Miles, Precision Fuel and Hydration, Harrier Trail Running, Phoenix Light UK and Protein Rebel for sponsoring this week's show. X Miles is a family-owned independent endurance sports retailer that provides nutritional goods, apparel and accessories to help athletes perform and recover at their best. X Miles offer a wide range of high-quality products from leading brands, and their team of nutrition experts, cyclists, runners and outdoor enthusiasts can provide expert advice and guidance to help you reach your goals. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just getting started, X Miles is the perfect place to find everything you need to succeed. Is that generally in life?
If you go into their nutrition calculator and you just put in, I'm really struggling today, they're going to go, this is what
do I need?
I've got a 4-hour car journey and then a 5-hour run. What do you need?
Well, listeners can get 10% store credit over at www.xmiles.co.uk via the link in the show notes. Also, it is the Black Friday season.
What is this? I don't even know what a Black Friday deals are. It's not Friday.
Well, yes, I think they start the Black Friday. Everybody jumps the gun early, I think.
Is it not an American thing? I thought it was like round Thanksgiving or something. Tell me
I think
more.
so. Yeah, I'm not too sure of the origin of it all. Brands like Morton, Pillar, 22 Sixes, UCAN and loads more. Got deals over at xmiles.co.uk. So if your cupboards are empty, head over to www.xmiles.co.uk.
I've got some deets on Black Friday for you.
Oh,
The
go for
term
it.
Black Friday originated in Philadelphia in the 1960s, used by police to describe the chaos and heavy traffic after Thanksgiving. The name became associated with shopping in the 1980s when retailers adopted it to signify the point when they moved into the black, meaning they became profitable for the year.
It's different to Black Eye Friday, when everyone goes out and gets drunk and then has a fight. It's basically the last Friday of the
What
month.
you do.
You never heard of Black Eye Friday? Classic. Very grateful to Yugoku Projects
Very,
for
very
producing the Tea and Trails cap. Pop over to Yugoku Projects if you would like one of these sensational garments. Don't forget, patrons receive 20% off. Also, all you lovely listeners can enjoy 10% off with the code T10. That's all caps and the number 10. If you're looking for the discount codes, then head over to Patreon, teaandtrails.com, or check out the show notes where you will find our link tree.
Gary's tired, he's had a rest day, and he's questioning now if he's actually still an athlete.
It was too much. What is you can't do? Is it too much, too soon, too fast? Something like that. You don't do too many twos, and I think I did too much.
I think, it's snowing. It's snowing. Oh, and Rory was like, I'm skiing tonight, Mum. I'm skiing tonight. Just pick me up with my skis. I'm going to the hills. And I'm like, oh.
My protein.
Oh, protein. Did I tell you its recent one? You don't need more motivation, Mum. You just need to look in the mirror.
He'll be doing a TED Talk in 15 years' time.
I reckon in a couple of years, if not next year, we'll see him up there.
Hire him out for Northern Traverse pep talks.
Voice notes. What are we doing? Here we are, sharing our deets. I'm slightly nervous about the quantity of snow coming out down.
I like it as the temperature, as the thermometer drops a bit, though, because the sloppy trails, they freeze up.
Yeah, but then the ankle breakers, if you catch your ankle on that rutted mud. I had one of those falls running on the Pentlands on Saturday where I caught my foot under a rock, slight downhill, so you're running a little bit faster. And I couldn't bring my foot round quick enough, but it was all just like rocks on the trail. And I saw the rocks, I was so close to falling, but I managed to rip my hamstring round to bring it round. But then you're going so fast, you almost fall with the momentum. Oh my God, I hope.
It was in the slow motion too. It's really bizarre.
The world, you see the world, and I'm like, no, not my teeth, please. And
I might have took it out. Could have saved you some money.
Oh my God, if I'd fallen on that side. And then your hammy, you literally ripped my hammy and my ankle. I didn't cry though, Gary. I was so brave. I had my biggest week for many a days, Gary, but the little voice whispered in the mirror, Rory whispered, you're playing with fire, Eddie, you're playing with fire. But I enjoyed it. I juggled those flames and I just kept juggling all week. And I thought, just breathe and believe. I think as long as you keep eating, Eddie, and you're in bed at 8 and you don't try to do anything else, we can manage it.
Did you run every day last week?
Did I run? No, I didn't run on Monday. So yeah, just swifted on Monday. day and didn't get in to do it till late in the evening. So very nearly had a rest day. And then I thought, get it done now, because I've made this unknown commitment to anybody but me and for no reason that I will do this 2 to 3 hours of cross training a week. And so I thought, let's start it. So I did it and it was fine. It just hurt so bad. I put my FTP up, which is like the power that you can push for 20 minutes. So I've put it up on Zwift because I think I can't have that big a difference of watts between what Lucy's pushing and what I'm pushing. And it just makes it so hard. I could easily put it down, but now I've put it up, I can't put it down again. So Tuesday, and it was a bold move because I was meeting a new friend on Tuesday for a run. So most people would want to go in with relatively fresh legs, but I was like, no, let's not do that. We'll go in a little bit of trash. So I met, people remember Fiona Horsfield from Northern Traverse winning. We'd been meaning to sort of meet up for a run, but hadn't obviously got around to it. Where are we now? November. When did she go on the podcast? Like April. She is training for the spine. I'm sure she won't mind me sharing that. So she reached out saying, can I pick your brains for spine chat? And I said, let's not do this. Let's do this visage à visage and meet up, and I'll join you on one of your spine pack runs. So we met in a rainy car park, not just a rainy car park. They literally could hardly see who was in the car next to me. So funny. I can sort of remember what Fiona looked like. Perhaps I should have done my research, but this woman pulled in to walk her dogs into the car park and I thought it was Fiona. So I was like, oh no, it's embarrassing. She thinks I'm just really friendly. We went up into the hills. I think it was in total about 17 miles, 4,500 feet of climbing. Good. She had a full spine pack on. I am not committed enough to put everything back in my spine pack. Running is such a great way. We don't know each other. We never met each other, but no, off we went. 4.5 hours, 4 hours, she said. She lied to me. Of chat, bogs. It literally, Gary, we could not see more than she kept saying. We were laughing so much. She took me like up to all the highest points and you could see like all the viewing platforms and we could just about see each other.
You never got a break all day.
Did nothing. We got one, we came down. So loads of like ups and downs, totally like bog fest. The clouds cleared at once and I was like, oh, look. And you could sort of see the sort of hills we were in. It was just so amazing. It just shows as well how easy it would be. She's been up in those hills, like that's where she lives, hundreds of times. And she kept going, this way. Like it's so easy to lose your bearings. So it was just so wet and miserable. But I was warm. What a joy, because I wouldn't know her if the podcast hadn't brought us together. So it was like, I was like, so do you want to meet again? Will there be a second date? I don't know.
Is it like first date, isn't it?
Should we leave it? Yeah. Should we we got on quite well. Was there chemistry? Can we we both peed? I mean, you've seen my butt cheeks. Let's just take this on now. So that was my biggest long run for a long time. I was meant to do a Zwift workout with Lucy on the Wednesday morning and she had to go at a different time in the end. So we couldn't do it. Thank God, because I would have died 12 hours later after that long run. She warned me when she'd finished it. She was like, Eddie, it's really hard. So I thought, okay, I'll do it on Thursday instead of Wednesday. So I just easy ran on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I thought, I've still got to fit in. I did a classic Gary Thwaites, as it's called in the business. I still had to fit in a Zwift workout and a run workout before I was then meeting Lucy to do a mega run on the Saturday. Now, most sensible people would go, drop one of those, Eddie. I'm not one of those people. I wanted to do it all. I want it all, Gary.
If I was meeting Lucy, I would have dropped one of those.
Yeah, but I have no shame in going, I'm walking, it's too bad. So I did this Zwift workout on Thursday and I should have heeded the international triathlete's warning when she said it was really hard. It was so hard, Gary. And then, of course, the watts were set. I couldn't back down. I had to do it. It just went on and on and on. Anyone that does these bike things, when you see it goes on the left-hand screen what the session is, and I couldn't see the end of it. It was just going on and on. I thought, how many times am I repeating these 2-minute efforts? My poor legs. I was counting down the seconds, and on Zwift it has this light arch that you have to get to, which is the end of the thing, and the arch would appear, but it wouldn't get any closer, and I'd be like, come on, 10 seconds. Anyway, it was hard. It was hard. It was nasty. So then Friday rolled round, hadn't done my session. So my plan anyway was not really to do a session because I knew the volume was going to be massive in the week. I've not done anything, moved my legs faster. So I'll just do some strides. So I had those sessions set up on my watch, which was 5 by 5 minutes with strides. And I thought, I'll go out This is what my old triathlon coach used to say to me. Show willing, Eddie. Just go out, show willing, turn the legs over and see how you feel. And if they feel horrible, you can press stop on your watch and flip to recovery run. So I started off, ran towards the hill behind us and thought, I'm going to definitely do these uphill. I'm not doing these on the flat. Did my 4x 30-second strides, Gary, and I looked like someone had shoved something up my ass, let's be fair. I could not get my legs to move. I didn't even look at the pace, but I just showed willing and just got them moving a little bit. There's nothing wrong with you, Eddie. You just got stiff, tired legs, but actually you feel fine. You've got a gel in your pocket. You've got the tunes in your ears. Okay, come on, let's just keep this rolling. We all know what's going to happen, don't we, dear listener? We all know Eddie's going to do the session. And I think that's where cross-training is so good, because actually in this week I did end up with 2 sessions. Yes, they were the day after the other, but I was fine. So I started running uphill, as Kate Bush says, got into the session and ended up doing a really great session, and not just doing 5x5. I actually did 6x5 because of the way of the hill. The last one I was sort of doing downhill and I thought, I'm not going to run as fast to get my heart rate up. That's danger. So I'm actually just going to run down this hill and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do another one. Oh, I felt fantastic. Where is the science in this? All PRs on all the Strava sections. It makes no sense. It's against all coaching science to go, you've already done a big week. You've already done a session yesterday. You're tired. And then you go out and you are able to push again. I wasn't nervous about running with Lucy because Lucy is a friend. And so I know that if she rinses me, she's going to have to bring me back. So we had a mega run plan. So we arranged to meet south of Edinburgh on the Pentlands. Have you ever run on the Pentlands?
No, I've seen them.
Okay, so next time you come to visit Esme, we will meet up. I know the car park we can meet and I will take you on the Pentland Skyline.
I think I'll get told off. No,
we'll go at 4 a.m. They'll never know.
Okay.
We'll meet there.
Yeah.
Head torches. It'll all be fine.
Good date.
Pentlands, I had never run on them. And they are, I think if there's a city you're going to live in, Edinburgh, and then you've got these incredible hills, literally on your doorstep. And we could see, we were charmed after the rainy run with Fiona. It was a beautiful day for running. It was dry. It was a bit cloudy, but we could see the Forth Bridge. We could see across Edinburgh. The trails, the Pentlands, I was worried. I was thinking after the Bogfest on Tuesday, I thought, I'm not sure I'm up for that coming down slop. They drained. They were pretty dry, muddy, but nothing compared to Tuesday. This is what makes Lucy a champion and what makes her incredible in my eyes. And she was like, there's no point you driving all that way, Eddie. You're not going to want to drive for 18 miles. And I was thinking, it's fine. I don't mind driving for 18 miles. Let's make this. I've added on another section. Oh my God. Okay, another section. Let's add another section. And so she sent it to me the day before and I thought, don't look, Eddie. Don't look, just do. So I was like, fine, let's do it. She's right. She's always right that if you're doing a long drive to meet a friend, you want a big day out. And we had a big day out and it was beautiful. Up and down, total of about 23 and a half miles, 7,000 feet.
Whoa.
It was relentless. The climbing, but great climbs because they're not mega. So you can stomp up them, chat, and then you're down. There's nothing oh my God, this is going on forever. Some of them were super, super steep. The only thing was there was no water. So I should have taken 2 extra bottles. All I did was take 2 bottles thinking, I'm not a filter. There was quite a lot of running water, but I'm not sure even with a filter I would have drunk any of that peat brown water. I was also really, really hungry the whole way round. Now, this could have been because of the week that I'd already put on my legs, but I think also because I've not done a lot of long runs, maybe I've lost a little bit of my fat adaptation as well. And so I'm a little bit unstable. My blood sugar was going, we've forgotten what we've got to do. Oh my God, what are we doing? And it was slightly freaking out. So I was just I ate everything I had, Gary, but I really wanted sugar. I think I was just on a bit of the wrong side of the blood sugar roller coaster. And so I had sandwiches, but I was like, that's not hitting the spot. Lucy just had a packet of jelly babies and just kept sort of holding, come on, faster, and you can have a few jelly babies. And I was like, that is exactly what I needed. I've had that before coming back from pregnancies and stuff, building up the long run, going, I'm not used to running this long way. And I think the body gets a bit confuddled. I always have gels in the bottom of the pack that you you've had there for like 4 years. I was like, goss, like if you dig right down in the back of that pocket, I reckon you'll find 2 gels. And I'd hear her rummaging and she'd be going, I've got some. I'd be like, yes.
No minstrels. Oh, Eddie, I can't believe you never had any minstrels.
I didn't forgot my minstrels. Anyway, it was such a lovely run and I felt fine. Lots of chat. What was really interesting was all our chat about recovery, and Lucy is definitely still feeling the coastal path. I think in her legs, but also in her head, underestimated how much that sort of thing takes out of you, not only physically, but mentally as well. And we talked a lot about people coming back from long events. And she was saying how she felt like underestimated herself, as well as like when you do things like the spine or Northern Traverse or these mega, mega big things, how fit you are going into them and how hard you have to train into them. And then the knock-on effect of the recovery and then the loss of fitness as well. So it was really good to talk to somebody of her level. You know, it's a long road back to where I was, and I'm still on that road. She hasn't entered anything yet. She's like, I'm going to wait and see the hunger.
When you've done something big and arduous, I've never done anything like what you guys have done, but to go again.
She was gone again a lot last year. This year, I keep forgetting it's this year. She's done a lot. Yeah. What I love about running with Lucy, I always get quite nervous about running with people that are got such high athletic credentials. But I always say, back yourself, Eddie. Back yourself. You're still a contender, but I love watching masters at their work, Gary, and how where Lucy is so good is she is relentless. I think our moving time was like 5:21 and our elapsed time was like 5:23. We stopped for 1p. She just never ever stops. Well, I mean, we stop for the odd picture, but like literally 10 seconds done, off we go. If there's a little bit of a runnable bit, she'll run it. It was so great. It was a big day out. And then we got back to the car park. I so wanted to go to the cafe, but I had to go and get a child. That was my get out pass that I would do the late pick up on the way back. And so I missed the cafe because I was a bit worried about the drive. Got in the car, still in my deck shell socks, Gary. Drove all the way back home, and then said child was delayed. And so I sat in my car for an hour and a half, Gary. I could feel my leg, but it was dark and it was cold. I didn't want to get out. I'd been to the service station and I bought 3 terrible things to eat. I had my chocolate milk and my recovery shakes, drunk a flask of tea. And I thought, God, I'd be so proud of this. I bought a family pack of Skips because I was like, I just want crisps. I bought an Eat Natural bar, and this was so dangerous. And I knew as I put it, and I thought, you're going to eat all of these. I bought a family pack of honey roasted cashew nuts.
Now that is a 10 out of 10 service station
And I
purchase.
sat in my car with a flask of tea and a lovely old doom scroll on Instagram for about 45 minutes, and I ate that whole packet, and I've never been happier. Nutritional value low, but I was like, I'll just take that salt, those nuts, the fat. And I got her back and I was like, why didn't I just go to the chippy? I could have just driven to the chippy and gone and had a chippy tea while I was waiting. There's something about doing something like mega. It was such a great route. If you want the route, I've put it on Strava. It was brilliant. It's a solid day out with loads of climbing, but a really sociable route as well, because quite a lot of the running you can run side by side as well, which was, I was like, if you're trying to chat. So I was so lucky in the week to run with 2 friends. That's unknown. That was, could have finished my week there, but no. Sunday is very sacrosanct to us when we have our love run. My legs were so sore, Gary, I couldn't even hold the dog lead. I was like, you're going to need a kilometre to ease into this. You know, as you reach our age of older, stiffer muscles, when I woke up, I was like, sometimes you don't know till the day after, but actually, yes, the first kilometre, I had really stiff legs and ankles. But then actually it was fine. We got into it, ran fine. But I called it then. Gary. The week was done. I was really happy, and it was a big old week for Eddie. But I felt tired, like leg weary and a bit of stiffness in the old quads, but not bone weary, which I've had before. So I think that is a huge step forward. And to all my lovely friends that are on my anemia train with me, of which there are many, and I love their updates of how they're feeling. Here is a bit of hope for you that I have gone back and done big volume week. I'm still okay the week after. Actually, I'm totally fine. I feel great. And I was able to cope with that volume. So that is 4 months from taking iron.
I think you've had a phenomenal week. And to end on a love run too. I nearly went into the red zone on the Alban app this week. I don't know if you've seen the home screen.
Red zone, is that like the death zone at Mount
Yeah, I tickled it. I don't think you can't zoom in, unfortunately, but I don't think I technically went into it. So I did creep over 80 miles. The reason why I nearly went into the red zone on the app, it didn't schedule a 5.5 hour run on Sunday. I'm so driven by numbers.
Terrible, Gary, did last week.
It was a great recce though. So it was just myself and Liam, and we ran all of the hard moors. Well, apart from the very beginning and the very end, there's a little that one back. It didn't make sense to do that. All of the hard moors, Saltburn marathon routes. So it's nearly 29 miles. Reacquainted myself with familiar trails. I think we were about 4,000 feet. This was just a social run, really, for me, because it's quite an urban trail. So you run through little villages, and they are the really confusing part when you're doing trail running. You know, do you go down this street? And I think I need to go back basically probably 3 or 4 times if I want to run the route faultless without kind of taking any wrong turns. I was wiped out on Sunday night.
I didn't realise you'd done 29 miles. No wonder.
Yeah. The reason, because
You're
I'm
not
so
young like me, Gary. I just bounce back from these big days.
And Liam's maybe 31, 32, so he's got 20 years. He's 20 years younger than me. I got myself to blame, basically. I'd mapped a slightly shorter route. When I say it was probably like 24 miles, but I'd seen on Strava, if I did the full route, it would tip me over 80 miles. And because I'm such a knobhead, driven by numbers. But it was a treat because then we went to Highcliffe Nab, which we wouldn't have done, which I think that is probably the marquee standout feature. And then you get the joy of getting lost in Gisborough Woods.
Oh, Gisborough Roots. They're on the Northern Traverse, aren't they? And then you go round.
Whoa, yeah, I never. Oh, well, Gisborough Woods on the Northern Traverse. I don't think they are actually.
No, okay.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit too far north. It was wonderful because I've done Saltburn Marathon maybe twice. I've done the Hard Moors 60, which starts in Gisborough and then takes you up Highcliffe Nab, and then you basically follow the Cleveland Way. And I've done the 110. So it was just like piecing all these little bits together again. So I'd done it all before, but my goodness me, I couldn't remember it as a whole. Great, but like I said, it wiped me out Sunday and Monday night. All I wanted to do on Sunday was cuddle Rex on the sofa and veg out.
Do you find you're really dehydrated after a long run like that? Like, I can't drink enough.
I didn't drink much at all. And I booked myself in to go to the doctors actually for a prostate cancer test. This is going off on a bit of a tangent because I wee so much. And that is one of the warning signs, I suppose. And I've had this, I think I mentioned in the past about how many times I take a toilet break.
Oh, I've been with you. The number comes out many times.
So all I had before the run was like, I had a Lemsip. I drank a Lemsip on the way down in the car. I didn't have a cup of tea or anything.
Sign. You drank
I know, well, this is why I buried myself because I went into the run feeling a bit poorly. And then on a 5.5 hour run, I maybe drank a litre.
Yeah, that's what I drank too, 5.5 litre. Oh, the thirst.
And I weed all the way.
What?
Yeah, it was incredible.
I didn't wee then till the evening. How bad is that?
Probably frustrating for Liam. Every few miles I was needing to wee.
I love running with you because every few miles I get a good 5-minute Instagram check.
But yeah, the numbers just don't add up. So with my age, I think I should definitely do that. Workout for the week. I did a juicy 10 times 4 minutes.
Is mega.
40 minutes of effort.
40 minutes.
That is enough. It's enough for me. It's funny because we always talk about this. When you finish the workout, could you, if somebody said to you, you know what, Gary, I meant 11 minutes, 11 times 4 minutes. I could have done another one. I really didn't want to. I was absolutely rinsed, but it took a lot to keep me focused during the workout. I really wasn't feeling it. Maybe I manifested this myself, but yeah, I was dripping with sweat. I'm mopping myself down and I knocked my earbud off and it bounced off the treadmill. Then I shot across the gym. I spent ages trying to find it, but secretly in my head I was like, oh, thank goodness for the rest. But these workouts are very personal. But for me, 40 minutes of graft, that's a big effort. Nutrition choices still struggle. It tasted delicious, and I don't think you'll find a peach melba. If you went to Club La Santa for a holiday, I don't think peach melba's
not going to be. This is the perfect recovery food. You're not going to see the influencers.
Well, when I do little deals with myself, when I'm doing something hard, so I'd visualised when I get home, I'm going to put BBC News on, going to sit down, the house is going to be quiet, I'm going to have a proper cup of tea, not a decaf cup of tea, and I'm going to enjoy my peach Melba. Ray had kindly bought it for me actually on the up and running birthday run that I did on Monday. They do it every week, I think, and then every now and again a brand will come along. It was ASIC's turn this week. It could be New Balance, blah, blah. And you try on some shoes, you go for a run, 5K. There was 200 runners on a miserable Monday night in Darlington. It was incredible. I went back on the treadmill for my steady run. You tell a story of glorious weather on your runs, apart from the one with Fiona.
No, yes, it was glorious Saturday. The rest of the week was wet to your pants every single day.
Well, we had pretty minging weather. I don't know what day I did this steady run on the treadmill. I wanted to see how far I could go on a complete flat surface. So I was curious to do that. And yeah, I suppose mainly the reason was I was dodging the weather. On Saturday, I did parkrun. Ray, he's such a good guy, Ray. He just sent me a text, you fancy doing parkrun wherever it was. And he likes to travel around to all the different parkruns locally. So we went to Easington Parkrun on Saturday, easy miles, because he had this easterly wind coming in. The sea was absolutely breathtaking. I was trying to visualize, you know, when you see like maybe like a disaster movie and the ship's getting perilously close to the rocks, that is what the sea was like. Absolutely incredible. There wasn't many people there, unfortunately, for such a good park.
Which one was it? I missed which one it was.
Easington. This is probably not its official name, but it's in Easington Village. No, Easington Colliery, so right on the seaside. Lovely coastal trails. You can park. It ticks all the boxes for me. So you've got lovely trails. You can park up nice and easy, and there is a cafe at the finish.
Done.
So yeah,
I'm there next Saturday.
Fried egg sandwich to finish. Yeah, incredible. Wow. We talked about this and you weren't happy about me mentioning it, but I checked my Garmin age. Fitness.
I was very happy for you to mention it. I was just disappointed that I couldn't join in the fun.
Well, no, you got a Whoop. Is that what your device called? Is it a Whoop?
No, it's my special ring. Tells me all sorts.
So I'm 9 years younger than my actual age. So people are curious how they find this out. They go on to Garmin Connect. They go on the home screen. They've got 3 dots. Then you go to your health stats. And I think if you see your fitness age there somewhere, I'll take anything as a positive. See, this is where I never know how accurate these things are. On the flip side, I'm in currently high need of recovery, according to Garmin.
Oh, Kel Surprise.
I can't remember my week. I ticked off all the boxes and I enjoyed most of it too. And we ended with a party tea, Saturday and Sunday.
No, you can't do double day party tea. You can't get enough carbs in a party tea. It's too much fat.
We had fondue, cheesecake, deep fried cheese, cheesy chips, cheese board. And then we had some port to wash it down too.
Gary.
No, we didn't.
No wonder you're not feeling that grand.
And we talked last week, was it jam? Yeah, your bougie jam, cost of bougie jam.
Yeah.
Lisa had a day in York with her work colleagues. She came back with some very gentrified ginger biscuits from Betty's Tea Room.
Yum.
Oh, they are incredible. 12 biscuits. Come on, take a guess. How much 12 biscuits from Betty's tea shop cost?
Betty, she's trying to make a living. She's got 6 children. 12, did you say?
12.
Let's say
they are very,
biscuit.
they're very small.
£6.
£7.75.
Wow, Lisa.
They were delicious.
Spender.
They were absolutely all gone. Yeah.
I would fear if I came to stay with you that there wouldn't be any food because you have no off switch. So we'd buy something and then I'd be like, so are we having that for pudding? And you'd be like, ooh, I ate it all at 11.
I've had another shocking week as far as food's concerned. Peach Melba, biscuits.
Oh
what else have I had? There's been multiple weak moments.
It's all fine. I just worry that when you're feeling tired as well, that you might just need a good bit of carbs in there.
Oh, but that's the peach Melba. So you've got the
I don't even know what beach Melba is.
Well, yeah, so I put a photograph on my Strava and that triggered. I got more comments from a Peach Melba photograph on Strava than what I would do maybe if I did the Lakeland 100 or something. So Peach Melba is...
Keep talking,
it's a biscuity base. So you got this chewy icing and it's like almost like a nuclear orange icing colour, velvety cream. Then you've got this peach in the bottom.
It's like a pudding. Is it like a trifle?
No, I wouldn't say it. So it's full of cream. Then you've got the icing over the top.
Yeah, I see it.
Peach in the bottom, and then a sweet pastry base. It's absolutely incredible.
There's a bit of nutrition in there. You've got a peach.
So Ray, our Instagram algorithms must be similar. So he turns up on Monday to pick me up to go to Darlington. He has an enormous peach Melba. This thing is like the size of a Christmas cake, massive. So you've been on Instagram and there's some guy who goes around, it's like eating challenges. So somewhere in Gateshead, apparently you can buy these massive, you've got to order them. This is how dedicated he is to the peach Melba. So he orders this enormous peach Melba as a gift, as like a birthday cake for the 10th anniversary of Open Running.
I'm getting it. The story's going, I see.
Yes,
okay, so
but also because he thought maybe we wouldn't all get a chance to try the peach Melba, he bought individual peach Melbas too. What a star.
What a ledge.
And he bought me a burger. Thanks, Precision Fuel and Hydration, for supporting Brew with the Coaches. Their website and newsletters are such a good source of knowledge, articles to read, and YouTube content to binge on too. On YouTube, you can learn how to fuel an ultramarathon, what pro runners carry on race day, and how to nail your marathon prep. Precision Fuel and Hydration helps athletes personalize their hydration and fueling strategies so they can perform at their best. They will help you know your numbers too. They have a handy free online sweat test and nutrition planner. Why not try the carb and electrolyte drink mix? A litre serving delivers 60 grams of carb and 1,000 milligrams of sodium, making it the simplest way to get a decent amount of fuel and electrolytes from your bottles. Yeah, I took 3 bottles of that on Sunday, but like we mentioned earlier, I came back with one of them. Head over to www.precisionhydration.com and don't forget, patrons get 20% off. But if you would like to try Precision Fuel and Hydration, then you are in luck. Use the code TEATIME2025 for 15% off your first order. I'm a 43-year-old woman and have been running for quite a few years, around 40 to 50 miles per week. In the summer, I noticed a bit of a niggle in my knee and thought I'd just run it off. That didn't work and it became increasingly painful. I paid a visit to the physio who said a tight T-band is the source of my problem and there's nothing actually wrong with the knee itself. I've had loads of sessions to loosen it off, which does seem to help, but then it always comes back. I initially took a week off to let things settle and have done that again since, but as soon as I start increasing volume or try to do anything with a bit more speed, it's back with a vengeance, especially on soft ground or when I'm going downhill. It's like something is sticking a screwdriver into the side of my knee and my whole leg feels tight. Oh my goodness me, that sounds like agony. I've had loads of physio and I do the exercises they give me at home. I do strength training for my legs, though perhaps not as consistently as I should. And I also foam roll. None of this is working. It's been almost 3 months now and I'm so frustrated. Every time I go out, I have no confidence about whether I will be able to do the distance I've planned. My questions are, what can I do to get this sorted for the long term? Is there anything I can do to make running less painful in the short term? And am I doing any damage by continuing to run? Your advice would be very much appreciated. I'm not a joy to live with at the moment. Thanks. That comes from Kate in County Durham. That uncertainty when you go out the door, if you're going to be able to do what you want to do and how much pain you're going to be in when you're doing it. Shows, you keep showing up. You are a strong runner. You've been running for a long time, decent mileage. So kudos for keep showing up. Eddie, any advice?
I would say you've had loads of physio. You're doing your exercises, not consistent with your strength training. Let's be honest. It's the underlying thing. But if it's not getting better and you're mentally it's actually mentally hindering your running, I would say get a second opinion on this, because if you're not seeing any improvement, or go back to your physio and say, hang on on a second. I think we might have misdiagnosed this because I'm doing all these exercises. There should be a sort of improvement. It might be that you do need to offload a bit and cross train for a bit to let it settle. And if that's what's not happening, because it's so chronic now, you actually will need to offload and not run for a bit, especially not downhill. And cross train a bit, cycle, let that sort of like pain come down first and then look at what is causing it. I wonder as well whether it's hamstring related as well. Really tight hamstrings can be a part to blame as well. But I would say if you've worked with your physio, that's my first like red flag. It's like there's no improvement. So you've got to change something. Don't keep doing the same thing and thinking it's going to get better. You need to look at like Russell's levers, but look at what you're doing, the running, the exercise, and change something and think long term. Don't just think like, oh, I want to be running pain-free in a week, because let's be honest, that's not going to happen. We want to be thinking long term. This isn't running ending. It needs to be looked at. And that's why maybe a fresh pair of eyes might be quite good on the injury to sort of see if there is something else going on here, give you something different to do, give you a little bit of kick up the ass maybe for the strength training, maybe a little change to the cross training as well. Because if you are an injured runner like Kate at the moment and you're running and it's not getting better, then it's not right. I know I really like a physio that says to keep moving and to keep running, even if it means taking the volume down. And often that comes with the caveat that as long as it's 2 to 3 out of 10 pain, as you're progressing, if you keep a pain diary, then it is getting better. But Kate, it doesn't sound like it is getting better. If I was your mate running next to you, I would be like, we've got to put the handbrake on and look at this in a different way as well. Trish is our absolute knee. She is the guru, and she worked so hard to work on her knees.
Yeah.
This is you. This could have been you.
This is me, actually.
eight months ago to Robin. It just keeps hurting.
The key thing I would say is, a lot of it is essentially what Eddie's already said, is try another physio. That's the first thing. It's always good to get a second opinion. 3 months to me on and off running doesn't sound like you're doing the recovery time, because if you're doing a couple of weeks rest and then back into it, the area is still probably slightly inflamed, and then therefore it's very easy for it to flare back up again. I've had a lot of athletes who I've worked with who've had injuries and worked them back up to running fitness. And the consistent thing I would say is time. You've just got to give it the time. You know, one athlete I've worked with recently has just done consistently, did 3 months of solid bike work before we started loading with walking again. And it's a long time, yeah, but they're running really well now. And sometimes you just need to give it that break, that solid break. Yeah, you might not be running for a little while. You might just be fast hiking and loading it in a way that isn't that stressful on the body. You've got to build that up. The moment you get back into running and intensity, it's just going to flare it straight back up again. And I'm not a physio. I 100% listen to a physio and what they're saying. It's worth speaking to another physio. It's worth thinking about what your cross training looks like in terms of actual activity and volume and length of time that you're doing that. I would stop running for the moment until you know what it is. And, people have different opinions on that, but I would say focus on bike work right now and walking. I'm a massive fan of walking. I think walking is fantastic. And especially if you can then add weight to that as well in terms of a pack or weight vest, that's going to be some great consistent loading in a non-stressful way.
She needs a plan, doesn't she?
Yeah, you need a plan.
I feel like she's like every runner that gets injured. We all want the answer and we want it to be better next week. And we have to, facing that is like, the first stage of like an injury. When you have a niggle that hurts the whole run, that is so tiring. So I definitely think if you can find somebody that give you a little bit of help, and then if you can, Kate, find maybe a running coach that can work alongside your physio with a bit of a back to run plan as well. Lots of my athletes that if they do get niggles, they work with the physio, I'll then be in touch with the physio, like over an email or a voice note or something, and we'll have a little bit of a plan together. Or I'll be strict with the athlete to go ask them exactly what you can do. What can I do to help this, rather than what can I not do? Because as soon as you take away running, then we get sad, we don't do our exercise, then we don't do anything, we just sit and eat cookies. So finding out what you can do and then working that into your life as well is really important.
I definitely get walking in. I think, walking is such I think an underrated way to recover. It's so good for you, that movement, that low stress. But I definitely think you need to be giving it more time. You need to be giving it more time. And I sense you're probably coming back a little bit too quick, maybe into in elevating your volume and your intensity maybe a bit too quickly. But again, it's difficult to say because obviously we haven't seen your plan and we don't know what your physio has said.
General advice, but I think that's general advice for everybody that has got that niggle that just won't go away. Is like, you got to look at it and look at it from a different angle, or tell it, as we say this a lot as the coach, don't we? Talk to somebody and say, be realistic about it, just share. And the minute you say, look, it hurts every run, they'll be like, right, it's okay to cross train. I give you permission. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just different. It's not, and it's not forever. But the frustration of the injured runner, there's nothing worse. But so big love to UK and anybody that is dealing with a long-term injury. Sucks.
Good luck, Kate. Thanks, Harrier Trail Running, for sponsoring our Strava Club and the Tales from the Trail section. Harrier is the UK's fastest growing brand for trail runners, providing specialist kit designed for superior fit, comfort and function with the best customer support. Check them out for race vests, waterproofs, poles and other trail essentials at www.harryrunfree.co.uk, where you can also download your free copy of How to Run an Ultra Guide. And if you would like to save 10% on your purchase from Harrier, then use the code T10 for 10% off site-wide, or check out their brilliant trail bundles for a special 20% off. Harrier's Black Friday sale is on and it lasts all November. This year, it's a bumper bundle of trail goodness. Free tracked 48-hour shipping on every UK order, 20% off a hand-picked selection including race vests, poles and hydration gear. Earn double Trail Mile loyalty points on all pre-order items too. Basically, if you've had your eye on something from Harrier, now's the time to pounce. Head over to www.harryrunfree.co.uk.
Oh, some huge miles in the Strava Club.
First up is Kerry Gallagher, 80.4 miles for the week with the longest run of 23 miles and 1,824 feet of vert. Smashed to Kerry, 400s, workouts, walks, 23-mile long run with 10 times 1 minute thrown into the mix too. And my favourite, the medium long run.
I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm doing it tomorrow. The sun is out.
It's like 11 to 16.
Yeah. I was wondering that because I've got to be back at 10ish to record podcasts with my mate Gaza. And I was like, 2 hours, what's my route of choice? Because if you go hilly, you could probably only do 10 if you get a load of vert in. Or you could go flatter and I could be nudging on like 14.
I do. When I was training for the roads, it was much easier to rack up those miles because I wasn't gunning for the hills. Next up is Alexia Morgan with a green. What does a green love heart mean in the emoji dictionary?
Is there an emoji dictionary?
Well, there is. Thumbs up means something different for a younger generation.
What?
I don't know what it is.
Keep talking. I'm going deep.
Alexia did 102.5 miles for the week with the longest run of 10.5 miles and total elevation of 495 feet. Request to follow, but I'm super curious how Alexia's week panned out, with 10.7 mile long run and only 495 feet of vert on an 102 mile week. That is incredible. Last up is Rich Garside, 105.3 miles for the week with the longest run of 101 miles and 4,232 feet of vert. Rich was at God's own backyard ultra. I think everyone's a technical DNF, isn't it? Unless you win it. First ever DNF, but very happy with that. 24 yards, 100 miles in under 24 hours. First backyard ultra. Rain on the days before meant it was pretty muddy. More tarmac than I thought. Day loop along the canal, up the road and back down through the woods. Night loop out and back along the canal. Aim to keep the yards to 50 to 52 minutes, which I did pretty well. Mizzle most of the day, but not too bad. turned into a nice night. Almost didn't need a head torch. Wore the same base layer and windproof the whole event. Legs were tight from lap 3. Chest was tight before I started. Didn't think 24 was going to happen at that stage, but kept plugging away. Tough on the flat canal with the monotony, a real battle of mind over matter. Great to have Mum and John's dad, then Chris and Toby help in the evening. I even got chips. Packing up was tough. Had to use the lift to get over the railway line when picking up the van. Glad I didn't have a tent and I was actually in the marquee. Joint 13th place. Shoot eats. Used the Hawker Maffeta Speed 4s for the first 8 yards for 33 miles. Hawker Cliftons for the rest. 67 miles. Incredible. People have been racing, Eddie. The male podium for the 2025 Punk Panther Wharfdale Skyline 35-mile ultra marathon. First place went to Adam Warello. Second place, Phil Harris. And third place, Lucas Casilio. The female podium went like Sophie Scully. She was 5th overall. Next up is Amy Woods, 6th overall. And Karen Nash finishes the podium there. Great running, everyone. In the mist and mud and just under 10 minutes. Yeah, that splits that female podium there. Also, congratulations to Joe Turner for winning the 2025 men's Wendover Woods 50-mile race in a smoking fast time of 7 hours, 17 minutes and 45 seconds, just missing out on a course record. The ladies' winner is Veronica Gale of Dashers. Also great to see Sarah Cameron do so well too. That was the longest run since 2019.
So good to see her running so well and so happy. I got a few WhatsApp videos of her running in the day and she looks so super strong.
Tales from the trails.
We've got to do this round, Gary. I've got my eye on this round for a day out. This is from Carl Martin. This story, I love the start of this. This story is about my recent tea-round adventure. For some history, about 2 years ago, I made friends with another runner in the club called Mike. Mike had been told I'd done the lap and asked if I fancied doing the tea-round. I said yes. Less miles, lakes, easy. Little did I know, nor did Mike, that this was not an adventure I was ready for. Whistle-stop tour of that weekend, arrived late Friday, put up tent, facing down a hill. Set off after 10:30 on Saturday, taking pictures and chatting. Slowly but surely became broken. High-style descent and red pike finishing me off less than half the way round. I was that slow, Mike went swimming in the tarn on the bottom, got fully dressed again before I made it down. With our tents, one each in Ambleside, car in Keswick and us in Buttermere, we called it a day. Taxi did not turn up and 5 hours later managed to hitchhike a lift back to Keswick. I could go into more here. Suffice to say we were rewarded at the running club wooden spoon for our antics. Sounds fun. Fast forward and after a lot more experience in preparation, below is my story from this weekend just gone. I'm a member of Saddleworth Runners. Tea Roundup, Nick Shard, Ed Hadslam, Andy Essex, Richard Deacon and Carl Martin, featuring Brandon and Shelley Green. This is like a movie title. Cameo from a fast runner in need of help. We set off 7 a.m. They're giving themselves some more daylight. Saturday AM, running with the sun on our faces. Our first target being Cat's Bells. My diet of choice for the day was KMC gels, High Five gels and Tailwind. Oh, bold! A couple of months ago, I started wearing glasses for driving and distance, so decided to get a pair for running. They did not improve my downhill running. I think I'm beyond help with that, but they did improve the views of the lakes. Stunning. Some of these descents are difficult for me, so was chuffed to get past High Style and Red Pike. No musical headphones, just great conversation all the way around, from Action Man figures with the moving eye swivel switch at the back to World War and politics. Brandon and Shelley offered to meet us at Buttermere and provided encouragement and well-needed refreshments whilst on their one holiday, I might add. Oh, you legends. Setting off on the second half, which is supposedly easier, there's still many climbs and lovely views to be seen. I've never been so glad to see a flowing stream. Nick was a legend and used filter to fill everyone's water for them. Here, I want to make a special mention about Nick. Nick carried extra waters and gel for me all the way around. What a legend. Nick also met another runner the night before in a shared taxi to Keswick who was attempting the round in sub 8 hours on the same day as us. Now, Nick will have his own story to tell on this, which is his to tell. This is my view on it, and in short form, well, as short form as I can keep it. The runner, won't name, came down to the stream at the Barry section in a bad way and got worse as Nick was filling all our bottles. We checked in on him and Richard gave him all his salt tablets. As we set off up, Nick and I at the back, the runner was being sick. Nick decided to stay with the runner to see him okay and suggested he could catch me up. This is Nick, and he is super quick, and I'm, of course, me. Nick stayed with the runner, talking with him, giving him his remaining food and water, and rescued him down to safety and additional miles and time to do so. When Nick knew the runner was safe and with people, Nick set off to finish the round. At absolute legend. I was gutted not to finish with him, but we did manage to regroup before setting off home. Wow, we could all be a bit more Nick. In summary,
Kudos,
having
Nick.
a filter is essential. I totally agree. And flowing water tastes so good out of streams. Caffeine gels near the end worked a treat. Full fat Coke is a must. Don't leave a brie and cranberry sandwich for 24 hours in the sun. And then ask someone if they fancy it. Oh my God. Every single person on the adventure brought me joy and encouragement. And I love spending time with them. Take spare socks. I replied squirrel nut butter twice. Polls for me, game changer. Richard, top man for recommending using them and advice on the carry belt. Nick was amazing and a credit to the club. Ed, those chips at the end, best ever. Andy, what a guy. You absolutely smashed it. And your company and chat kept me sane at all times. Oh, I hope your mates listened to that. What a lovely tribute to them. And I love that you went back and absolutely smashed that route, and that Nick was a hero saving the runner in distress. We all hope that and we will all have our time of distress on the trails, there might be somebody like Nick to scoop us up and get us back to safety. We love them. It's our favourite bit of the show. You hear enough of our twittering. We love your tales from the trails. Keep them coming. Email hello@teaandtrails.com and pop Tales from the Trails as a subject.
What a story. What an adventure. T-round. That is definitely one to do.
I think I'd want to do it in the summer with the daylight, to be fair.
It's a big day out.
It's a big day out.
They do the lunar round. I know it's a different route, but there is that one where it favours you doing it in the winter because you get more time to do it. Thank you, Pro Rebel, for bringing us home. Gentle on your stomach, driving your performance. Whether you're trying to get a PB, training for your first marathon, breaking world records dressed as a rhino, or completing your 10th ultra, Protein Rebel's products are easy to digest with no artificial additives, providing both performance and overall health benefits. Daily Marine Collagen is designed for runners of all distances. Give your knees, ankles, hips and tendons a break. You can train harder, recover faster and stay injury free. Trusted by runners of all distances, and it mixes easily, dissolves in coffee, shakes and water. If you would like to try or buy some award-winning products, then use the code T15 for 15% off your first order over at www.proteinrebel.com, and patrons can enjoy 15% off every order. Need to pop over to Patreon for that discount code.
Gary, I've got 8 tits on my nuts.
What's your nuts of choice?
They like the fat balls too. They love a fat ball. Who
big
doesn't?
fat
That's
ball.
where you'd be. If you were blue tit, you'd be straight on those fat balls. Let's not bother with those healthy seeds. This week's top 5 set by Eddie. It's absolutely my running joy is a few days before the podcast is to try to think of top 5 things that are topical. It's going to be political soon. I'm going to ask you some questions on
world politics, current affairs.
So we thought this week, we're going to go early, which again is against my religion. But I thought, but actually, you've gone on and on about Black Friday with Ola's podcast. So if your thoughts are turning to Christmas lists, what can I buy for perhaps you've got a nearest and dearest as to who is a runner, or you are the runner and people are asking what would you like for Christmas, we thought we'd come up with a few little ideas that were outside the box, because we are like that. We're outside the box thinkers, aren't we, Thwaites?
I wonder if Tom Evans would sell his, his shoe juice that's like ASICS infused. That could be on someone's. That's a stock and filler.
Can you imagine?
Tattoo. Oh, I could have a tattoo for Christmas.
A tattoo.
Reggae service station sponsorship. That would be great.
Unlimited service station goodies at your choice, your service station stop up after your long run.
So what would be great if you pinched all the loyalty cards and the stamp so you get free coffee every time you go somewhere?
Every coffee. Or just every time you walked in, they'd be like, here's your coffee.
In Saltburn, they've got a miniature railway. If someone were to get me a year's ticket to ride on a miniature train, any miniature train, that would be a great
You're so happy.
Christmas
Does it not
present.
hurt your knees when you're sitting on the seat?
Tunnocks T-Cade voucher, that'd be great. A trolley dash. You get a trolley dash in the M&M shop in Leicester Square.
That would be incredible. Do you remember Supermarket Sweep? That used to be one of my absolute
I love a trolley dash.
Toby
Carvery Gold Card.
Oh. Do you know what? I'd love
transplant.
I would love someone to cook dinner every night for a year. Can you imagine? Every morning, let's just say he's 25 and he's fresh off a yacht and he's got a good tan. He straps up his apron and he says, Eddie, what's the family want for dinner tonight? And I just say, what should we have? He can cook anything. He says, I'm in here anyway, so I might as well make you a little bit of lunch as well. What do you like? Anyway, let's be realistic. We've gone too deep into this. Top 5 Christmas gifts for the runner in your life or for you to sort of just slip into that WhatsApp message. What are we going for? You want to go first?
I think
I just see number 1 of yours.
every runner should have the gift of Patreon this Christmas. What are you laughing for?
This is so funny because you're always on brand, Gary. You're always hustling. Remember, if you do and you want a personalised Christmas card, we've got that option is there for you. I'll fill you in on all the deets that's been going on in my life for the last week.
Gym membership would be good. Maybe like a 3-month one, you just kind of dip the toes in there, see if they fancy it. They've got to get over the initial enthusiasm. So like 3 months, that's when maybe people's motivation might wane. The reason why this is on my spider sense at the moment, my gym membership is up for renewal. So should I stay? This is a dilemma I'm faced with. One gym, because where all the gang goes, it's 2 miles further away from my home. So it's a 8-mile round trip if I was to run it.
So you can't do a session then because that would just be that would be too big a load. You'd be absolutely cooked.
But do I join, because Robbo goes to one gym, we could do classes together. Imagine that. Guns out. Or do I keep being the lone wolf at the fitness factory?
I think you struggle fitting it in anyway. You're going to have to potentially get in the car to sometimes go to the gym. I would keep where you are. Don't change. You see enough of Robbo on the trails. Keep it fresh. Keep that relationship fresh. If you see him too much, he's going to realize...
I don't see enough of him, to be honest. I don't see enough of Robbo. Boring Christmas presents. Socks.
It's on my list, Gary. What's your brand of choice?
I like the Injinji toe socks. We've been trying the Versa socks. They are good. They're skinny, so like a race day sock, like maybe a road marathon. My Lakeland 100 sock was the Summits. They are super comfortable. Not the toe socks though, but any of those 3 I'm quite happy with.
Okay.
What about yourself? What's your...
I'm a Beleaguer girl.
You bought me a pair of those very kindly, and I've got to say they are holding up.
I reckon about every 3 years, because Bryn wears them, we just share socks.
Have you got big feet or has Bryn got little feet?
I will just leave it there. We just share socks. Every 3 or 4 years, I order about another 10 pairs and rotate out the older one. And the older ones just go into the kids' stores because they love them too. They don't care that there's a slight hole in them. So they last. They are the longest lasting, I reckon.
It's kind of similar to the gym membership, to be honest, but any running related voucher. Sometimes I have family members and they've got really lovely intentions, but they might gift me the wrong product. So yeah, a running voucher.
Punch them in the face.
Straight away, yeah. That's just Lisa. We're fortunate. We get gifted quite a lot of stuff, socks and bits and bobs like that and shoes for shoe reviews. But even still, it is eye-watering the amount of money that you spend on this habit. Also, which is something I think is a chink in my armour, is my lapsed knowledge
One of the many.
map navigation. Yeah, we've got friends of the podcast, Run Like a Haggis, Fran and Nav4. They both do navigation courses. So I think that would be a very worthy stock and filler. What about yourself?
Decent pair of gloves. They're quite expensive, a decent pair of gloves, but if they are from your loved one as well, every time when you're freezing or you get that fresh, dry pair when you're on the hills and it's wet and you change your gloves and you can just slip them on and go, thanks so much, Auntie Jean, for these gloves. I mean, you need different gloves for every single weather element. And if you do any mega long race, you need 4, on the kit list, it'll probably be 4 different pairs of gloves. So you can never go wrong with a pair of gloves.
Good shout for gloves, actually. So my old favourite warm winter gloves would be the Montane Prism. Alpkit do a very, very similar product at a fraction.
Mittens. Are they mittens?
No, they're not mittens, no.
Okay.
I'll always double up though. I'll put some super skinnies and then inside my other gloves. But yeah, Alpkit might do mittens, I'm not too sure, but these are just a replacement for the Prism gloves at a fraction of the price.
Poles, good investment, something as well that you might not buy yourself because they are pricey as well. They're a bit of a chunk. Yeah. You might think you don't need them. You might be looking at doing Lakeland 100 something where you might want poles. They're a great thing to add to your Christmas list. I've gone down the voucher route as well, coaching voucher. I've done that before for people that have gifted, like you said, some months of coaching for a race to a partner. I love doing that. Surprise! is. You've got Eddie in your life. Or nutrition voucher, because nutrition is expensive as well. So you could buy the gift of a Precision Full Hydration £100 voucher. And if you can't buy a voucher, you could just make them one. Get a kid some crayons to draw them and say £100 is slipping into your bank account for nutrition voucher. Sports massage, Gary, a sports massage. Again, like a pricey thing that often people bulk away from going, that's that extra little bit of money. Yeah, that's that a month. So perhaps finding one or just gifting. It doesn't even need to be a sports massage. A little trip to the spa, so a little facial treatment, a pedicure. Oh, what I would do to have a pedicure. And then my final idea was, I've done this for Bryn before, and I know lots of people have done this for husbands and wives, is a race entry.
That is a good
Buy
shout.
them. Just do it. Give them the gift of Cape Wrath Ultra. Don't surprise it on them like 3 months away, but like a year ahead, say, but this is a big one, because if you do give the gift of like a big race entry, that takes a lot of training for, you have to then also give the gift of time and the training ability to that person. I think that's something as well that perhaps if your loved one in your life wouldn't do it themselves, or hovering over the button, they're like, I'm not sure I've got time, I'm not sure I can do it. If you go, I believe in you, I'll buy you the entry. Let's do it.
And they're expensive too. Sometimes it's like, oh, wow, 150 quid or whatever it is.
They are expensive.
Well, I think the polls, that's a good shout, because that would be a purchase that you might not do because they are expensive, and Christmas and birthdays are a great way of justifying something a little bit special.
But anyway, it's my birthday first, so all this chat at Christmas. I did say what I
mentioned
would
about
really
4 weeks on the
love.
running now. Birthday.
You remember my address, got a postcode. I did say that what I would love, and what we've not ever done, is go somewhere for a night, just me and my husband, and just no event, nothing, just spend a night somewhere.
What about the dogs? I think this all the time. Oh, we'll do this, Lisa.
What about the dogs?
What about Rex?
What about the dogs? They come with us. In bed with us.
Say that's not.
Yeah,
that's not my.
It's not quite so friendly. And then have a nice run in the morning, and then like a hotel buffet breakfast where there's like no limits, and then back late checkout, some sort of like bath. Nobody saying, Mummy, it's time to go. Wouldn't mind that. So that'll never happen. But, and we'd miss the kids anyway, and they'd be like, you went what and did what? With us. What are we going to do about your week, Gary? I'm nervous about where this is going.
So I didn't run it all yesterday. I don't want to talk too much about the week, because we'll talk about it next week. But I'm feeling a bit poorly. My chimp, this is good time. Actually, maybe I'll ask Stu tomorrow, what should I do? Because the chimp is saying I'm a worthless piece of shit.
It's not. Don't
but my
listen to
sensible
what they say. It's not true.
But my sensible side is going, give yourself a break. Have a down week.
By running, it doesn't make you a better person, Gary. I think we need to ask Stu this as well.
But I'm thinking currently at the moment, maybe just do a deload week. And this is where I think the Auburn app works quite well, because it gives you a recommendation of 4 different ways you approach the week. And one is a deload, one is a light build, one is a focused on long run, and one is a build with some speed. And I always gravitate to the build with speed, and I might just do a deload or a light build this week, see how it goes. But where I'm sitting with a few months away from January, February, March, 4 months out from Northern Traverse, and we just talked before we recorded, I had 5 weeks of kind of building my mileage and volume. Maybe I'm due a down week anyway. Either way, Sunday's going to be fun and games, cross country.
Can I just pipe in? This isn't necessarily to you, but to anybody that is, it's always good to build the down week in before you need it, so you don't get that psychological response of like, I've failed because I haven't done the week I planned, and now I feel rubbish, and now everything I've ever done in my life is worthless. Depending on your level of running, your life, like kids, plan. I think putting the word D is bad in front of them, because I think it gives people the wrong response to what the week is. You can call it anything you want that is a positive thing. An aerobic week, easy week. You can keep the volume in there, or just notch the volume down, but take out any sessions, or just keep to like a few, maybe just one with strides in. But I think planning it before it's a necessity is a psychological good way to do that. Then you don't feel. And I always think I've done my job well if people say, I think I could push on, and I go, you're doing really well. You've had a good 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever we done. Let's just notch this down.
I didn't listen to the whispers. I remember before my workouts, 10 times 4 minutes last week, I just felt,
When
I
you
felt
were
a bit
looking at your
snivelly.
AirPod and you were like, oh, thank God for the rest. I'm so tired. You didn't think.
Yeah,
"Oh,
I just knew something was on its way, and it progressively got worse. I ran fine, I'm not sandbagging. I ran fine on Sunday. It just took a chunk out of me, a bit more than what it normally would. But that's pretty much the week. It's pretty much easy running, and I think there is some hill strides in there. Many a time I've stood on the start line for cross country, feeling sorry for myself. And I've been fine, perfectly fine.
Yep.
So this is the worry. Am I
willing.
just being a bit soft on myself, or am I actually genuinely?
Give yourself a week.
Ill.
If you're still like this next week, I'll kick you out the ass and go get out there. Come on, I don't want you easy target at Northern. I don't want to be 3 hours ahead by Sharp. Come on.
Well, your red blood cells, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be careful after my mega week, but spoiler guys, I'm all fine. So I'm refilling my bucket, and I have to really work hard on my nutrition to make sure that, especially as a veggie, that I am getting the right amount of food and rest in place. So I'm working hard with that. I've sort of set myself a couple of little things this week that I want to do. Whether I will do a session, I'll definitely do a session on the bike, 2 sessions on the bike. One will be medium and one will be goss hard. I'm not sure I'll do any running hard this week. I'll see how I feel. I'm going to meet the Wild Heart Runners, Debs and Kaza, and their crew, their mega crew. How many people will be at their birthday social on Saturday? We're running on the West Highland Way. I mean, they are the Pied Pipers of Scottish trail running. They will bring the crowds. I have to go early to get a parking space. But we're doing a 2-hour run, Gary, and then we're going for cake. So I am, whatever the weather, I am there. Seeing the crew, can't wait for that. This time next week, it will all be over, Gary, and I'll be I won't be a new person, but I will be medically one step
It
forward.
can rebuild you. Is it Steve Austin? We can rebuild her.
It really ruins my week because all I can think about is the fact that I've got to have root canal.
Oh.
It's horrible. Anyway, I love my dentist. She'll give me all the drugs and I'll just settle in. And I'm going to do my 2-hour run before. Kids have got some big sporting fixtures coming up. They've got all these sort of like finals of competitions. So I am on the sideline a lot, Gary, and I have to pretend, put the face up and not be invested in. I have to not say anything. I'm not even allowed to make a cheer. And occasionally a bit of coaching comes out my mouth and I have to be like, shh. Gary, it's like watching someone else do your job.
Yeah.
I'm like, or if I see a bad decision and I'm like, don't.
Eddie.
If they score, we get a bit of a clap and a bit of a good job. And the rest of the time, I put my hands around my flask and I just and I feel that. And then my job is I scoop up whatever happened and we have our moment of reflection. And then I have to also be really careful not to reflect to go, well, you work a bit harder in the midfield, don't you? You track back a bit more. And I'm like, don't say nothing. One really good tip I had was just to repeat what they say. So instead of being like adding your bit to it, them just saying, I was really disappointed because I didn't do this, or, oh, did you see that, Mum? That goal was great. You just kind of repeat it and go, I did. That was great. You did great. Or
that is a good tip.
It's like, that is a good tip. So you just reinforce wherever that's going. And if there's disappointment, we just put that Spotify playlist on and by the time I get home, we'll forget. That's a great thing about young people. The emotion and everything about whatever they're doing is so important. And then within 10 minutes, it's done. They're moving on. They say, Mum, have you seen this? You seen this video of the cat doing this with the dog and the duck? It's great. Thanks for tuning in. We love you for listening. Share the pod, share the episode, share the love. Get those Christmas lists sorted. Pop over to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Subscribe or even consider becoming a Christmas Patreon. Thanks to Ed Smiles for Simple Hydration, Phoenix Light UK, Harrier Trail Running, and Protein Rebel for sponsoring our show. Here's a discount code: T10 2025 for Shocks, T15 for Protein Rebel, Tea Time 2025 for Simple Hydration, and T10 for Harrier Trail Running. Thank you, a deep thank you to our partners and patrons. We couldn't do this without you and your ongoing support. Oh, have I got to read a Black Friday thing again? I'm absolutely raging about this. Right, here we go. Shocks mega Black Friday Bonzana is on. Massive savings. Oh, we didn't add this to our Christmas list and we should have. You can't double discount dip, but if you...
I don't even think the code works on the discount. I think they turned it off.
How Shocks have transformed my running. The ability to listen to chat and still to be able to hear is amazing. I wear them all the time. My kids wear them. Everyone wears them.
I've got some dates. If you're interested, Open Run Pro 2, you can save 20% off. That's a big saving. Open Fit Air, 30% off. The Open Fit, 35% off. Open Move, 30. Basically, big savings over at Shock. So, yeah, I'm not saying go out and buy some headphones just for the sake of it, but if you're in the market, you can save big time. Good luck to everybody out on the trails. Racing, training, recce's, solo miles, or miles with mates. I've just seen the WhatsApp group ping up. Someone's uploaded a GPX for a Friday run, possibly. 20 odd miles. What am I going to do? I don't know. Good luck to all the runners and volunteers and event staff at the North Face, Kendall, Skyline, Ultra and the Hard Wolves 80. Long range forecast looks okay. Fresh but fine. Pack your big gloves.
I love a fresh but fine forecast. You need warm layers, sort of lightweight on the arms, but really nice. Warm gloves and a bandana. Good to go.
Let the trail or tarmac rise to meet you, and the wind always be on your back. Be kind to your future self, breathe and believe, roll with the joy, and the miles will look after themselves. And if all else fails, chase the ball. My name is Gary Thwaites.
And I'm Eddie Sutton.
And that was the Tea and Trails podcast.